needed to beat 3 men at once. Alex Daniels, Timmy Luretin, and Chris LaRusso. This man outlasted them all to enter tonight's field of 8. He is Dezmond Xavier.
Introducing first, from Dayton, Ohio, weighing in at 186 pounds, Unleash, Dezmond Xavier.
He says he's the Unleashed because he's no longer held back from the shackles of fear, doubt, or human limitation. And those are great qualities to not have in Super Indy. It's about pushing your body beyond the normal limits. No fear if you want to survive the field of 8. And an interesting backstory outside of the ring as well we'll talk about. Dezmond Xavier has some privileged classified information, we'll say.
Really?
But one thing he does not know is if he can come out on top against what some are saying is an odds-on favorite. Josh Alexander has been one of the most talked about athletes to come out of Canada in the past several years. How tough is this man? How much does he live up to the walking weapon diatribe? This man broke his neck a few years ago, was back in the ring in a matter of weeks. Stubbornly, some would say stupidly, but undeterred, Alexander refused to quit. Unfortunately, a bone spur dislodged as a result of not rehabbing the injury. And he spent 9 months thinking his career was over, in retirement. However, Alexander battled back a little bit smarter, but just as intense, just as determined. And that brings Alexander here tonight. Alexander wearing that amateur-style head guard. That is not because Alexander is an amateur wrestling standout. It's to protect a pre-existing ear injury and cauliflowering and calcification of that ear. So some may be misled to expect an amateur game out of Alexander. That is not his style.
No, although I was about to say, although don't expect him to not be able to lock up either.
Right. His style is power, intensity, and in your face. Xavier, there's not much he can't do. 27 years old, 3-year pro, based out of Dayton, Ohio. Alexander, I believe, Hamilton, Ontario. His original origin. There's a hard power slam into the cover for 1.
A good catch by Alexander there. Turned Xavier around and just dumped him hard on the mat. Oh, felt that.
And you gotta wonder if the neck will be a target. If Xavier has a chance as Xavier, able to turn things around, catch Alexander with a boot in the corner. Pace quickens its advantage. Dezmond.
Whoa.
Gonna unleash some offense. Nicely done. Xavier is a 6-year Air Force veteran, and it may be time to see him take to the air at this moment. Alexander out of harm's way.
Wisely out of the way. Oh! And look at the speed on Xavier.
Drop kick nicely done, cover for 1. Xavier has history working in the presidential aircraft security and in nuclear security, and then he followed it up with, and that's all I can talk about.
Well, once you are bound to a code, you are bound to a code, Joe.
So who knows what Dezmond has seen or what he knows, and maybe that's hardened him and toughened him up in preparation for a wrestling career.
Well, I mean, I know what he's seen. He told me.
You were there?
Well, no, but he told me. He just won't tell you.
Don't let that go public. I think you may disappear for a while.
Oh, no, it's okay. I have clearance.
Alexander gonna make Xavier disappear. Hard impact in the outside of the ring, the apron, I should say, as Xavier hits a awkward landing on the outside, cut the guardrail on the way down as well. We talked about Alexander, his history. Just a few weeks ago, Alexander won the most prestigious tournament in the Ohio area, the JT Lightning Invitational in Cleveland. I believe there were, correct me if I'm wrong, someone will email me, 24 entrants in that tournament that lasted 2 days. So Alexander proved to be very, very tough.
Well, you don't just call yourself the walking weapon. Or you don't call yourself the walking weapon very long if you're not. So eventually someone's going to want to test that.
Xavier competed in the CZW Best of the Best this year, which ended up being won by another entrant in Super Indy this year we'll talk about later. As Alexander, using his size, using his might to control Xavier. Remember, Jay Worth, Xavier really excelled when he was able to create that distance and really dictate that pace. It was a lot more chaotic. There were 3 bodies around. Xavier could get lost in the shuffle and come out with a big-time maneuver. Alexander not letting that happen.
And very smart. He knows that Xavier's quick. And the way you make sure someone doesn't beat you with quickness is you stay on top of them. You don't give them that space to let the engine rev, so to speak. Case in point.
Great combo and a release overhead. Alexander sent Dezmond almost outside the ring. Hook of the leg 2 is all he'll find.
5 minutes on the clock. 5 minutes.
Less of a suplex and more of just a toss. He went flying, Joe. So, Joe, I've already put my neck out on the line. Who are you picking for Super Indy?
Well, it may just be because I'm looking at him now, and certainly not because of the current flow of this matchup, but I like Dezmond Xavier. And the reason I do is because he overcame 3 men to get here. Very explosive, made an impact in just 1 night in IWC, which you and I know there's a short list in the past 15 years of guys who have made that kind of a first impression. I think it'd be a great way to capitalize on that, keep building that momentum with a victory here. Of course, I thought of that before he drew Alexander.
Yeah, very true. Everything you said was absolutely right. The problem is right now he's in the ring with a walking weapon. Oh, big bell clap.
Alexander went to go into the striking game. Xavier, multiple revolutions. And the foot connects with the head of Alexander, who is knocked loopy.
The thing about an attack like that is you have no idea what he's going to do. You see that first flip, and you're wondering, is he going to backhand spring into an elbow? I doubt you're expecting he's going to keep flipping and then just knee my head twice. So 2 knees, 1 strike. So.
And a major turning point forthcoming. Needless to say, whoever to their feet first will have the advantage, but neither looking all that... oh, look at Dezmond! That explosive offense, where did he pull that out from?
2 steps backward, and all of a sudden he's across the ring.
Great roll through. Oh, this guy is so fluid.
Oh! Mouthful of boot.
Regardless of your size, of your height, Dezmond making every impact count, near fall.
Corkscrew moonsault. Corkscrew moonsault standing on the ring.
I believe he calls that the erratic static, Jay Worth.
Really? He put my name in it?
No, it's just the erratic static, and I was addressing you. The importance of commas in everyday life. Hard shot to the face. The roaring elbow. Dezmond was out before he hit the ground. Alexander gets a near fall.
Alexander caught him as he was falling and just rolled him right into the pin. That was 2.5, maybe even 2 3/4 there, Joe. Can we talk about Xavier's pedigree for a moment?
His pedigree?
His pedigree.
Well, certainly.
Just having been trained by
well, certainly has been trained both in Maryland as well as Dayton, Ohio. He's been mentored by Dave Christ in recent times. He's been part of that Scarlett and Graves group in CZW that's also known in some circles as Ohio is for Killers. So not only is he an amazing natural athlete, hanging around the likes of Dave Christ, you get a mean streak instilled in you as well. The STO. And Xavier capitalizes.
Oh, good knee. Beautiful knee trembler.
And Alexander now out on his feet. Trying to break the grasp. Had him oh so elevated just slightly. Alexander. Oh my.
Up and down.
This could do it here. Covered. Oh. And again, Jay Worth, can you imagine being on the shelf for upwards of a year, not knowing if you'll ever be back, thinking this is the end? Alexander has formally retired in the past. There was a point where he closed the book on this part of his life. It's a second life, and he's certainly made the most of it in recent months.
Yeah, I give him all the credit in the world. There are a lot of people that literally don't walk away from a bone spur in the neck. So for him to be able to come back, it shows the gut check that he is capable of. Takes a certain level of fortitude.
Alexander slowing things down. You can tell Dezmond's having trouble keeping his footing. And the more Alexander will strike, the more he'll run away with this thing.
Oh!
Neck first in the corner. Oh no.
Heading to the top.
Alexander taking a chance.
Xavier working his way out. Oh! And he just dumped him right on his head.
Awkward, uncomfortable landing, but Dezmond still moving, and Dezmond still comes back. Right around the temple, that protective head guard may have been the only saving grace, but no way to recover from the head scissors takeover. Dezmond advances. No.
10 minutes gone by. 10 minutes.
Wow.
Is there anybody in Super Indies prior Dezmond reminds you of?
Several. Why? Who are you thinking, Joe?
You could draw a lot of comparisons. Facade, Flip Kendrick. Oh, spinning tombstone, that'll do it. It may be all for naught now.
That's it.
Alexander advances.
I was going. I was going to say Xavier reminded me a lot of Gory in that he just got dumped on his head and then was able to stand right back up. But also, like Gory, he's not advancing in the Super Indy tournament.
Yeah, Dezmond reminds me of many on a long, arduous list of casualties along the way. Great ovation for Josh Alexander, a standing ovation by many, as Alexander, one major tournament in his back pocket, could add to that resume. Respect from Alexander to Dezmond, much deserved.